The opening weekend box office is in for Blue Beetle, and quelle surprise, it's an unmitigated disaster. However, the director, Angel Manuel Soto, did get something right when he said, "My work here is done. Couldn't have put it better myself, mate." Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. On Friday, myself and my brother from another mother, Mr. Porkchop, went over to see Blue Beetle at the cinema. We were the only two people there up until about 1 minute before it started, and then a staggering 3 other people walked in. A film that is probably targeted more towards a younger audience in the height of the summer holidays here in the UK had 5 people in the theater, 2 of them there simply for a YouTube review. As regards to how I found the film, I thought it was absolutely dreadful. I fell asleep twice during it, including one of the action scenes, because it was so riveting. And also, we, being Mr. Porkchop and I, would laugh quite a few times during the film at how bad the dialogue was, or how bad the acting was, or how bad it just looked in general. I thought I was watching a Saturday morning TV show. The acting was subpar for the vast majority of the film, and I laughed because I just thought of Susan Sarandon's performance, and talk about phoning it in. It felt like she had cue cards behind the camera and was simply reading them verbatim. There was nothing whatsoever inflection-wise that remotely made you think that woman was interested in anything more than taking home a paycheck. Zolo... Hold on a sec. Maradona? Miguel from Cobra Kai, he just didn't have anything to work with here, and he just came across as very flat indeed. Speaking of flat, his girlfriend in the film was dreadful. Her acting was absolutely appalling. The only performance that I could give any sort of praise for was for the dad, who died. Spoilers? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Who looked like he actually cared and was trying, and that didn't appear to be what anyone else in the film was attempting to do. George Lopez as Rudy Batman's a fascist was absolutely insufferable in this film, and every time he was on screen, you just wanted to walk out, or in my case, fall asleep, which I did twice as previously mentioned. It was absolutely dreadful. And if stereotyping a Mexican family is what Blue Beetle is, then holy shit, Hollywood can't in any capacity complain about any other performances of Mexicans, because this was the most stereotypical performance I've ever seen. Within 2 minutes of the film starting, they're sat down eating tacos. I found a lot of the stereotyping really uncomfortable, and I'm racist. By the way, that's what you call a joke. It's a lot. They got banned in about 2019 or something. Wait a minute. Did a fly just... And it felt like that it had been written and directed by a grand wizard. And I'm not talking about Gandalf. Needless to say, when it was over, I don't think this film's gonna come anywhere close to getting a sequel, even though they tried to slip in a bit of Ted Cord bait right at the end there. And James Gunn, I have a question for you. Is Blue Beetle now part of your DCU? Or is he going to be pushed to one side? I don't know. Maybe let's wait for Aquaman 2 to come out before we make any further decisions. And I'm giggling because it's already dead. That film's dead. James Gunn's DCU's dead. Stop it. Overall, I give Blue Beetle a pile of dung out of 10. You know, dung beetle. That was a better constructed joke than anything in the fucking film. So let's have a look at the box office, shall we? Here we go. I know I shouldn't laugh, but I am. So let's just deal with that, shall we? Blue Beetle domestically has brought in $25.4 million over the weekend, being the second lowest opening for a DC movie of all time. I think that maybe The Suicide Squad is the lowest. Why split hairs? But also look at that international, only 18 million. That's it. And judging by my theater, I can fully understand why. Hi, I'm down here now. If we just scooch the figures across, we'll have a look at the breakdown. The preview night did 3.3 million, and that was in 3,400 theaters. That's not a small number. That's a lot of theaters. But as you can see, per theater brought in less than $1,000 a theater. And then the Friday rolls the Thursday number into it. That's why on the total gross, you'll see 10 million there and 10 million there. So that's how that works, which means that the Friday only brought in 6.7 million, and that was in an additional 471 theaters, taking it to a grand total of 3,871. That is a large number of cinemas right there. The Saturday brought in 8.55 million, and the Sunday predicted, because the Sunday is going to get confirmed later today, the Sunday predicted is a meager 6.85 million. Hi everybody, it's Az from the future here. You can tell because I changed my top. The figures have now been adjusted while editing this video, and that 6.85 million has gone down to 6.5 million, meaning that the weekend box office domestically is now 25 million spot on. Oh dearie, dearie me. Oh, that bit fitting quite nicely. Okay, I'll go. This is going to be an absolute failure for DC and Warner, and we could all see this coming an absolute mile away. And just to put some perspective on it, this is a $120 million budget. Why? Why does Blue fucking Beetle, not even Ted Kord, who's the most famous, not the first, but the most famous Blue Beetle, why do we have a derivative of Ted Kord, Blue Beetle, taking $120 million budget for a film? This film needs to have a budget of somewhere in the region of 20 to 30 million tops and try and pull out a profit that way. But oh no, let's churn a bunch of money. So because of that, double it, 240 million, marketing on top of that, another 100 odd million. This has got to hit probably somewhere in the region of 350 million just to break even. And how many times do we have to say movies are not made just to break even? Not that I think this film is going to come anywhere close to the 350 million mark. In actual fact, I think this is really going to struggle to hit 200 million worldwide at the box office with this performance this weekend, making the movie lose somewhere in the region of $150 million. The budget itself already doomed this movie to absolute failure. This article from Bounding Into Comics, going back to July, by John F. Trent, talks about how the Blue Beetle director completely changes tune, asks moviegoers to give film a chance, after mocking them with the Batman's a fascist line. By the way, that line in the movie stuck out like a sore thumb and just made George Lopez even more unlikable, which I didn't think was actually possible. But here we are. After already antagonizing people with the Batman's a fascist line, something really stupid thrown in, once again he doubles down on it. This chap here puts George Lopez saying Batman is a fascist, has this MF riled up. I need more lines like that from the movie if they're freaking out like this. Yes, because it's more important to actually annoy people who care about the characters than it is for some twat waffle who knows nothing about them, probably doesn't even collect comics, but gets a zinger in there so that the movie can lose hundreds of millions of dollars. That sounds like a plan to me. So once again, Engel Manuel Soto jumps in with laughing faces. My job here is done. Your job is done, mate. I don't think you're gonna get a job again, because guess what? Once this was posted, his Twitter account got put on private. Why did it get put on private, you may say? This outspoken person, which had already wished Minecraft on a president of the United States, because that's the kind of balanced person that they are, probably because Warner Brothers gave him a call and told him to shut the fuck up! We are losing hundreds of millions of dollars on these dog shit movies, and your plan of marketing is to antagonize the potential audience. To say that this was the sole reason for the disaster would be disingenuous. It's a part reason to go on top of all the other part reasons, like $120 million budget for a film that shouldn't have anywhere close to that, for the fact that they put out an unknown character to the masses. And I say unknown because unless you're deeply entrenched in the comic verse, you're not really going to know who the this person is. So most normies just see this guy in a blue weird suit looking like a Power Ranger wannabe doing stupid shit with people running around going, Batman's a fascist. It's not the best marketing strategy I've seen. I'm just saying. Now, Barbieheimer, that was some marketing strategy. If I'm being as fair as I possibly can, I think the movie is doing more money than it actually should. But I think that this next week and the weekend after is going to bring it coming crashing down to earth. And it's already 6 feet under as it is. And if it's only going to lose 150 million at the box office, I think they can count their blessings. But there is potential for it to lose even more. Stay tuned. I'll see you in the next video. You take care. Bye for now.